Forward to having a conversation on how we can collaborate moving into CEM MI this September, as well as whether we can see some good outcomes with other organizations here as well. So with that, I will turn over to Arun for some opening remarks.
Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening for our colleagues online. Welcome here in person in Delhi and in preparation for CEM 13, upcoming CEM event at Pittsburgh. We are here to understand the ongoing collaboration as it is ISGAN and MI, which started a couple of years back, and there was a very good understanding as well as communication and handle transfer from technology to its deployment, and appreciation that there is a continuum for our goal of sustainable development goals. Today's meeting will bring us closer in terms of what we plan for tomorrow. ISGAN is coming into a new being from rather it has already started its new inning from March, and of course Mission Innovation is relaunched, and we need to reaffirm our cooperation because what we create as an innovation has to be sustainable and deployed for society use through a smart grid, and ISGAN is there for making all new technologies seamlessly integrate into the ongoing grid, which is a continuous operative 24/7 machine, and all changes has to be integrated with a view to no disturbance but all changes. So this collaboration is very important and critical across the globe because everyone has a different kind of experience, and today in Delhi when we meet in person with the diverse entities within India and of course across globally, we hope to get more engagement from the grid community as well as research community and the community for policy making from India through CEM as well as MI. So again, I welcome all of you and look forward to a lively discussion and continuing the cooperation. Thank you.
All right, we'll now hear from Dr. Reddy, who co-leads the Green Power Future mission.
Thank you. I take immense pleasure to be part of this CEM ISGAN-MI Green Power Future mission side event. I extend a very hearty welcome to all the participant countries and stakeholders who have gathered here to accelerate the development and demonstration of smart grids technologies. We are aware of the challenges that this would pose to our power system, and enabling smart grid-led transition to provide reliable and quality power with stakeholders' joint collaborative effort is an unquestionable solution. The founding leaders of MI and ISGAN envisaged that to accomplish the objectives of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, improve energy access, and draw path for clean economic growth, R&D in clean energy through global cooperation is vital. During the first phase of MI, both organizations, MI IC1 Smart Grids and ISGAN, are collectively organized a workshop at Vancouver, Canada. I compliment MI Green Power Future Mission and ISGAN team for advancing the collaboration and organizing this event. As MI Green Power Future Mission is committed towards RD&D in smart grids and power sector, and ISGAN is a strategic platform for accelerated development and deployment of smart grids. I remunerate the collaboration as a prodigious initiative towards the nurturing of mutual interests. My sincere thanks to the MI Green Power Future Mission and ISGAN team for their collective efforts to make this as a success. I am confident that our collaborative endeavors would enable us to realize the vision of affordable, reliable, future smart grid powered by decentralized generation, which are and robust and suitable in diverse geographic conditions. I wish all the success to the initiative for identifying as well as implementing collectively mutual interest in smart grid domain and develop technological solution to make world a cleaner place. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And we'll now hear a final introductory remark from DDG Chen, China's senior representative for the Green Power Future Mission.
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of Green Power Future Mission, I would like to say we are happy, we are very glad to organize this joint side event with ISGAN. And I'd like to welcome all the participants to this side event. Renewable energy and resilient power system play an important role in clean energy transition to meet the carbon neutrality goals. The report by IEA on renewable power pointed out that renewable electricity generation rose up around 7%, with wind and solar PV technologies accounting for almost 60% of increase. To meet the net zero emission by 2050, the share of we need to have more than 60% of share of generation by renewables by year 2030. For example, in China, we need 80% of renewables power generation to reach the power neutrality by 2060. The generation must increase also at average rate of nearly 12% during 2021 to 2030. So we need almost to double the rate of the increase of renewable energy. Meanwhile, we need also to have a resilient, secure, cost-effective power systems. That's why we launched this Green Power Future Mission by China, Italy, and UK. Now we have 27 members from MI countries, private sector, and international organizations. This mission aiming to demonstrate that by 2030, power systems in different geography and climates can effectively integrate up to 100% VREs in their generation mix and maintain a secure and resilient system. So far, we have identified our innovation priorities, and we are planning to launch the flagship projects. And by securing, I think, the R&D resources from our members. ISGAN, I think for ISGAN, some of our members of Green Power Future Mission are also members of ISGAN. And we have had, I think, joined the ISGAN in the last few years. I think with this event, we hope to have more collaboration with ISGAN. Both initiatives, I think, is complementary, and we can join hand in hand and to make contributions to clean energy transition. I thank you for your attention.
All right, we're now going to hear just a brief presentation from Sky, my colleague over there, on ISGAN and the work that's being done there.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Hello, everybody. Let's just remove the PowerPoint. Okay, I'm pleased to share the ISGAN's value, a significant value, and the need for collaboration with Green Power Future Mission. I'm Sky Sun, co-secretary of ISGAN. I'm just focused on two things. First, the value of the activity of ISGAN, and second is the great need to collaborate. So the first, the value of the activity of ISGAN, the achievement of national, regional, and global clean energy and climate goal is supported by the integration of a variety of smart grid technologies and also application of policies. So that in terms of that right, the International Smart Grid Action Network create a strategic platform to support high-level government attention and action for the accelerated development and deployment of smarter, cleaner electricity grid around the world. So the smart grid covered 5 continents and already have 27 contracting parties. They're nominated representatives from the executive committee. They're led by the presidium and 2 co-secretariat of ISGAN and working groups. So the ISGAN's vision is to accelerate the progress on key aspects of smart grid policy, technologies, and investment, and also facilitate dynamic knowledge of sharing, technical assessment, and peer reviews, and also project coordination. So our work focus on these 4 topics: flexibility, digitalization, and interoperability, and resilience. The second about the great need to collaborate. To provide this platform for the development and exchange of expertise and competence on the smart clean electric system, and to serve as an important channel. So we just periodically produce a casebook and smart grid-driven technologies and knowledge transfer program in developing countries, and webinars and policy insight and discussion papers and joint workshop. But not limited in that the approach, we also self-innovation approach through the EXCO meetings on our identities and how to develop to the positive slope we go, and check the pathway we are going under the mission of CEM and IEA. So the activities of our ISGAN is organized into 9 MSCs. We call the working group now. Just one. Annex 1 is merged to the Annex 2. Now we can find 5 annexes. They are topic-oriented annexes, and just 3 annexes are the platform for this dissemination. The 3 annexes are merged together for the strengthening the communication wall. And next about ISGAN Award about Excellence. Since 2014, ISGAN just recognized the showcase leadership and innovation through the annual Smart Grid ISGAN Award Excellence in competition. For this year, 2020 awards themes have 2 themes. One is EV integration, and second is smart grid workforce development. We collaboration with the GSEF and also Empowerment People Initiative of CEM. So the collaboration activities in ISGAN will accelerate global understanding of smart grid and the maximum ambition and goal for the CEM, and how to increase the work and the range of outreach through the broad expert network and partnership with thought leaders and also diverse portfolio. So now we partnership with IEA and Clean Energy and GSEF and the Clean Energy Solution Center and of course Mission Innovation. Actually, we have arrived with Mission Innovation for the Mission Challenge 1 Smart Grid, but it is completed. So now with the chance to collaboration with the Green Power Future Mission. And also we will focus ourselves to strengthen the CEM workstream communication strongly. Thank you. This is my presentation on ISGAN impact, significant value, and needs for collaboration with GPFM. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that presentation, Sky. We're now going to hear briefly from the co-leads of the Green Power Future Mission. Unfortunately, Luciano was not able to join us here today, but he prepared a video ahead of time.
it's a real pleasure for me to have the opportunity to shortly introduce the Green Power Future Mission at this joint event with ISGAN. The collaboration with ISGAN is highly strategic for our mission, and we aim to leverage a strong synergy with ISGAN in order to succeed with all innovation that is needed for power systems around the world to be effectively modernized and deeply decarbonized. The main goal of our Green Power Future Mission is to demonstrate that by 2030, power systems in different geographies can be run with up to 100% variable renewable energy in a cost-efficient, secure, affordable, and resilient manner. We would like to launch R&I activity and also pilot and demonstration activity, and then to populate with all the main achievements and results of what we call Green Power Future Mission Toolbox, a repository where we want to store all validated innovative solutions to be further replicated and disseminated within this innovation, but also beyond. Our mission relies on 3 pillars, and in the first point of activity, we have been already able to develop a joint roadmap that was officially released at COP26 in Glasgow. This roadmap identifies the top 100 innovation priorities for power systems to be fully transformed and decarbonized. The 3 pillars our mission relies on are dealing with 3 very important aspects. The first one is dealing with DRE technology and clean technology, as well as massive integration in our system of DRE. The second pillar is dealing with a very important aspect related to system flexibility, and not only that, is also covering not technical aspects such as market design, business models, and regulatory framework. The third pillar is really dealing with a very important aspect that is related to data and system digitalization. That means including standardization and interoperability of data. And I think I can stop here since you will hear more about these 3 pillars from the 3 pillar leads. Before giving them the word, I would like to use 1 more minute of my time to give you remember a person, a man, a real mentor that was working with us in each innovation. I'm referring to Dr. Sanjay Bajpayee, who passed away about 1 year ago in May 2021. This has been a big loss for our mission innovation community, in particular for us that had the pleasure and the great opportunity to really closely working with him. Dr. Sanjay played a crucial role in the creation of IC1 Smart Grid during the phase 1 of mission innovation, and we always appreciate his great qualities, his professionalism, and also his wise suggestion. And we will follow his teaching, his great example, and dedicate our main achievement to his memory. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Luciano. It's our pleasure to bring you the key highlights from the roadmap based on 3 pillars of the Green Power Future Mission. The first pillar is mainly focused on affordable and reliable VRE technologies. It aims to reduce costs and increase efficiency, resilience, and reliability of VRE in various climates and environments. The key tipping points include novel and efficient PV, offshore wind, improvement on PV and wind forecasts, and VRE-based islanded and off-grid systems for energy-intensive applications. We have identified 6 dams with 36 global innovation priorities for Pillar 1, which cover novel photovoltaic, offshore wind, integrated renewable energy, off-grid system, energy storage, and system stability. We are eager to have you on board to engage in global innovation priorities and commit to make a contribution to the green power future. Now let's welcome Mattia.
Thank you, Dr. Ido. Pillar 2, System Flexibility and Market Design, is devoted to developing the business solutions to enhance system flexibility. Several key innovation priorities, grouped in 8 research and innovation teams, have been identified thanks to the collaboration effort of all the mission coalition members. As you can see in the slide, identify RNI teams, cover several aspects of the system flexibility, ranging from generation, storage, and demand side. Moreover, key aspects of market design, business models, and the related regulatory framework will be deeply investigated, since, in most parts of the world, these are increasingly important for the deployment of innovative flexibility solutions. Finally, I need to underline that within this pillar, we will deal with also flexibility coming from energy sector integrations. Now, I leave the floor to Chairman Lee from UK for Pillar 3. Thank you.
Thank you, Mattia. Pillar 3 focuses on the important area of data and digitalization, which is a key enabler for system integration to achieve high shares of variable renewable energy in power systems. We have identified 14 global innovation priorities around our 3 thematic foci in Pillar 3. The key thematic areas cover innovation in interoperability and common standards for data exchange, enhancing security in digitalized energy systems, and then designing and testing integrated solutions to manage and control energy assets to optimize the use of flexibility in the whole system. Pillar 3 also welcomes a variety of activities from core leads and members to commit to the RNI areas in the upcoming action plan for 2022-2024. The Green Powered Future Mission is currently developing our action plan for 2022-2024. In this action plan, we will be proudly showcasing our members' projects and programs that will contribute to address the near-term innovation priorities that we have identified in our roadmap. We will also unveil details about the upcoming flagship projects, which are committed actions by our members. The action plan will also show our ongoing efforts to establish success measures and engage with other international initiatives. So please watch this space for the publishing of Green Powered Future Mission Action Plan by mid this year. Thank you.
All right, thank you to our Green Power Future Mission colleagues for that presentation. We're now, before moving to discussion, we're going to hear briefly from Vito Rosite. Apologize if I butchered the pronunciation there, from the IEA.
Thank you so much. If we could jump to the next slide, please. Thank you. So it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to participate in this very important and timely event on how to enhance international collaboration and accelerate progress towards decarbonized and resilient power systems. These are challenging times. We're still in the midst of the pandemic. The climate crisis is worsening, and concerns about energy security are growing. Next slide, please. In our chairman today already outlined the magnitude of the challenge and the short time frames that we are facing. We're here among friends, so I'll be frank. I'm worried about the scope and scale of the challenge. The challenge of accommodating for the very high shares of variable renewables that we'll need, the new flexibility needs while we are phasing out conventional flexibility resources, a big push towards electrification with potentially new and harsher demand curves, ensuring access to reliable and affordable energy, the need to at the same time modernize and build out the grid. And at the same time, we're seeing stagnating power system investments. And we're moving towards a power system that beyond what we have now, where we have now a few easily controllable assets, we're moving to a potential situation of millions of small-scale assets that need to be controlled, that need to be monitored. We do need digital solutions, and we need them urgently. In terms of net zero and the magnitude of investments and actions needed, the timelines already seem tight, as 2030 is just 8 years away. If we jump to the next slide. So digital is absolutely essential. Without it, we cannot hope to leverage and effectively utilize all the sources of flexibility that we will need. We cannot shift quickly enough and identify when there are risks of overloads, or when demand is escalating and demand needs to be reduced. We need digitalization to have visibility of the assets. We need better data and analytical tools in order to plan our power systems more effectively. But again, frankly, we are moving slowly in this space. We're not taking advantage of the opportunities. We're not systematically looking into how we can future-proof our electricity systems. We do not only need investments in hardware and software and in innovation, but we also need investments in people, in capacity, in new skills, in new ways of collaborating between stakeholders, in new ways of communicating. And as I mentioned, we definitely need innovation, but not only in new technologies, but also in new policies and new business models and new regulations. An important part of today's conversation is how to make our messaging clearer about the importance of this topic area. How do we reach a wider audience, and how do we drive or stimulate action? I was last year in a discussion with colleagues from ISGAN, and the icebreaker was about what aspect of flexibility keeps us up at night. And we were a dozen people all worried about flexibility. But if we look at the general population, and even if we look at our policymakers, we are not concerned enough about flexibility. We are not concerned enough about what are the implications of all these changes that will happen to the power systems and to reliability of supply and energy security. We jump to the next slide, please. So going forward, policy buttons will be pushed, but what can we do collectively as the smart grids community to inform the sequencing, prioritization? For example, now many countries are considering how to accelerate the uptake of heat pumps and electric vehicles, but there's still insufficient consideration of the possible impact on the power systems and how to ensure that these can be assets that provide services to the system. And what are the pressure points? Where, if capacity is not put in place soon, there will be a growing risk that power systems will burn and lights will go out. We do need to focus our messaging more strongly around stability, security, cost, and in urgency. The IEA, as some of you may have noticed, we've been focusing recently on 10-point plans. A question that is very much at the top of my mind is, well, what would be a 10-point plan for smart grids that helps address the short, medium, and long-term challenges? I very much look forward to the panel discussion and the identification of concrete actions on how to bring this topic area at the center of discussions in Pittsburgh, and what are the messages that will have an impact. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. We're now going to move into a discussion surrounding collaboration and work moving into CEM MI this September in Pittsburgh. Just briefly, if you are interested in talking on any of the discussion questions, just give me a signal or raise your hand in the virtual environment, and we'll be sure to get to you. If you would please introduce yourself briefly, just so everyone knows who you are and what you're saying, and then we're happy to hear from you. So the first discussion question we have here is what areas could be identified for ISGAN, Green Future Power Mission, and other partners in the international environments to collaborate going forward? Where can we identify those synergies, and where is there true work to be done? So if anybody wants to jump in on that.
Probably it would be nice, to make audience understand the linkage between ISGAN and MI and what we have done in the past, and probably we can open to the house for discussion. Will it be okay?
Sure. Sky, if you want to come in on this.
I have a couple of slides to present actually.
Oh, yes, please, go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. So can you just see the presentations? Presentations on, please. Yeah.
You can tell them what you are saying, sir. You can remove your mouse.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So probably before we go for the round discussion, it would be interesting for all of us to know, because in the past, Mission Innovation Smart Grid, we have spent a lot of time and energy. And now we are moving into Green Power Future Mission. And if you look into the last 6 to 7 years of collaboration, ISGAN, IEA, they all have collaborated at different point of time. So just for the benefit of the participants, very quickly, next slide please. Next slide. Yeah. So this is how actually we started IEA International Smart Grid Action Network TCP, and then Mission Innovation Challenge 1 Smart Grid, which has been launched in 2015. And now we move to Green Power Future Mission. Next, please. So this is how actually the first collaboration started. A letter of intent between IC1 and ISGAN were signed in the presence of all IC1 co-leads and ISGAN chairperson during 4th Mission Innovation IC1 workshop in Rome a long way back. And probably the commitment at this point of time that ISGAN and Mission Innovation will work together to achieve certain objectives which would otherwise being achieved by Mission Innovation, but especially to strengthen, because there are many parallel activities that keep on going between ISGAN and Mission Innovation. So how to really cope up and complement each other to achieve the maximum success. Next, please. So then we have moved to a next level of releasing 2 joint fact sheets in Vancouver on mutual interest topics of grid, evolved power system flexibility, and energy storage integration. Because that was a time where ISGAN and Mission Innovation really came together to a committed platform of collaboration. Moving next, please. And that is what actually many of you described about Mission Innovation, IC1 Smart Grid, and then Mission Innovation Green Power Future Mission. So that has been, almost we know what is happening today. So with this background, probably it is over to you to continue the question and answer session. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much for all of that background. Let's open it up to the floor. Now that we've seen how CEM and MI have collaborated in the past through ISGAN and through the Green Power Future Mission, hopefully now we can turn to the future. So I'd love to hear from anyone who has ideas for future collaboration. It looks like we have one from a colleague over there.
Thank you, Noah. First, let me say congratulations to the two efforts here in trying to link together their work, because I think there's a great potential to leverage what each of you are doing if it's conducted properly. And I apologize, my name is Jeff Logan. I work as the operating agent or coordinator for the 21st Century Power Partnership. And on the subject of flexibility, I just wanted to note that in the past, we have collaborated, our initiative has collaborated closely with the International Energy Agency, and we had published a series of reports on ways to increase flexibility in the power system. And we would be happy to work with both of your sides to further explore those issues of flexibility if that's of interest to you. And I can make the reports available to you if that's of interest.
Hello, thank you. May I have several comments online?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. And I'm Yibo Wang from China, and I also one co-lead of Green Power Future Mission. So very happy to join you online. And I think just as Dr. Barty mentioned, we have very good collaboration in past between IC1 and ISGAN. And I think GPFM and ISGAN have the similar vision, and IC1 and ISGAN have closed collaboration in the first phase of mission innovation. I believe that on this basis, GPFM and ISGAN can carry out fruitful interaction and collaboration in the future. And I have 4 suggestions for future collaboration. Firstly, GPFM have 3 pillars just mentioned by many colleagues and many colleagues. And with more than 100 global innovation priorities, I think GPFM and ISGAN could build up in-depth cooperation in these pillars and priorities, especially in fields of grid connection, microgrid, and off-grid power systems.
Secondly, the collaboration between GPFM and ISGAN might include, but not limited to, the development of technological roadmap, planning and design of demonstration, standardization of new solutions, and etc. Thirdly, for how to conduct a collaboration, I think first of all, GPFM and ISGAN might hold bilateral workshops or invite each other to join workshop or annual meetings, and then enhance mutual understanding and further collaborative actions. The last one, before CEM 13 and MI 7, I think GPFM and ISGAN might conduct in-depth discussions on collaboration opportunities, such as GPFM's 2022 to 2024 action plan, flagship projects, and relevant matters. And this could result to release the GPFM and ISGAN's collaboration agreement as a deliverable in September. So I think the collaboration not only between Green Power Future Mission and the ISGAN, but for all international organizations and all countries in the globe. So look forward to close collaboration between all of people and organizations around the world, interested on smart grid, interested on green power system. So that's my opinions. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. It looks like we might have a few colleagues with their hands up online. Would it be possible for us to see who that is here? And while we're waiting on that, is there anybody else who would like to jump in on those points as to ideas for collaboration going into, especially for concrete deliverables going into CEM 13, MI 7 in September?
May I? Yeah. So building from what Wang said, that MI and ISGAN both have a flexibility as a one of the MI Future Mission has a flexibility pillar, and ISGAN has a working group on flexibility, of course on digitalization as well. So maybe explore the possibility of mapping where we are focusing, what are the target for the flexibility in terms of, say, the IEA blueprint of 6 stages of renewable, where to begin with there is no impact of renewable, and ultimately you have the 6th stage where there is a whole lot of period, 100% renewable. That's of course the target for 2030. So can we come out with a collaboration agenda so that we can map those 6 stages of power system, where you have from a stage 1 there is no impact of RE to the stage 6 where RE is the only solution which we are targeting at 2030, and what kind of flexibility in terms of target, in terms of geography, in terms of the technology, in terms of energy mix, or for that matter energy systems integration through grid can be achieved or will be focused, or what parameters can be mission innovation green power future mission will target, and the corresponding or collaborative or common in terms of regulation, in terms of experimentation on the grid side, which ISGAN can undertake or influence or put together the activities for the grid community to be ready, or to showcase that where we will be looking for solutions. So that could be an effective way of the flexibility, technology and probability emerging, as well as grid and its regulation simultaneously being prepared and ready to consume what's coming as far as the development and flexibility technology is concerned. So that could be one way where Group 9 and the Pillar 3 can collaborate and come up with a strategy for what your maybe the path forward up to 2030. Currently we have 4% as reduction, or solar and wind as the only one, but then there will be staged and collaborated cooperation and mid-stage achievements or goals which will be fixed for both sides.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you.
It looks like we have a comment from a colleague online, AK Saxena. Oh, it looks like you may be muted.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. Greetings to all of you. I'm AK Saxena from Terry, and very happy to note that there is a discussion in regard to finding the synergies and finding the collaboration. And I think a few ideas have already come. And the three main pillars which are there, I think they are extremely important, what have been mentioned today. But particularly for the developing countries, the affordability is an issue which is of greater interest without any doubt. Number one. Number two, I think what I find about, maybe it is there somewhere inside in the smaller print, but there is no discussion in regard to the grid stability. I think that is one should try to find out. Number three, I would like to say that cyber security has not, I have not been able to see in these. Maybe if this is there in the fine print, then it is fine. Number four, I think 100% renewable energy or VRE target or whatever it is, even if we take as the renewable energy target, including the hydro in all the geographies, I think it is pretty too ambitious. I think one has to look at the country-specific situation and country-specific possibilities which are there. A number of entities have done these studies for, particularly for India, including the Central Electricity Authority, and we have also done these studies for the 2030 and also about to complete for 2050. I think one has to look at whether this target which we are giving as it is a sort of a global target, uniform target, or there have to be differentiated targets. And I feel that it is too ambitious to think that the things will fall in place for every country to achieve 100% renewable energy target by 2030. And lastly, I think, is there anything about the financial support which is being talked about, or it is only about the technology and the partnership and other things? So thank you so much for giving us an opportunity.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other thoughts on the specifics as to the, yes, please.
Hello, my name is Shalu Agarwal. I'm work with the Council on Energy, Environment and Water, a policy research think tank in Delhi. My few submissions are, an extension of what Mr. Saxena mentioned, that when we look at like a country like India, there are diverse discoms at different stages of financial stability and health, and how can these partnerships be also leveraged to help these distribution companies to implement some of the ideas that are being discussed under these various pillars? So, and is there like, some sort of budgetary or technical support that can be made available for, say, some on-ground pilots or sandboxes that can be tried out, and that will give confidence to these utilities to actually, take the ideas from paper to the ground, which just communication doesn't help unless they see and believe. Everyone is worried about the grid stability, as you also pointed out. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. It looked like we had another contribution over here.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Vikram Gandotra and I'm from the industry, OEMs. Fantastic presentation which I have seen till now, and technology roadmaps are in the right direction. There's no doubt about that. But we have been seeing these for the last so many years. Now, we have reached a stage when, as you have seen here also, billions of dollars are likely to be invested. My worry is, has any study or any work been done to see whatever has been invested till now, how has that been giving results? So if we want to invest more money, we should be clear what are the factors, underlying factors that have to be taken in consideration before these large investments are done, not just in India. I mean, in India we are seeing that 3 trillion INR what is going to come. Similar is the case everywhere in the world. So whether it is a social issue with the utility who has to implement that, whether it is a capacity issue with respect to the people who have to own this new technology, or whether it is something more, is it a matter of contracting, the way contracts are designed, or something else. Technology is there. Technology is moving very fast, and it is going to be ready for the projects to be implemented. But there are the other set of factors which should be kept in mind and seen how we are ready with respect to that. Thank you. And we can take examples from projects which have been done well in India or outside India, and make a platform to share that. Maybe come out with 5, 6, 7, or maybe 10 areas where some basic work should have been done before a lot of money is invested in technology. Thank you.
Yes, please do.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Ganesh. I'm from Tata Power. One thing which I wanted to also kind of sensitize is when we kind of look at technologies, when we come out with pilots, when we find solutions, it is also to really dovetail it with the regulatory framework. Because what happens is, whatever amount of technology comes in, let me give you some example. If you look at the battery energy storage system, it has been said that it is a proven technology, it works well and all, but it has not found a regulatory value. We have done few pilots. We have installed a 10 megawatt. We have installed at the community level. We have installed at the core level. It has not found a regulatory acceptance. Now, when you are talking about, papers, when we are talking about reports, when we are talking about pilots, unless until that translates into a real business case, or at least if it not a business case, but at least an acceptance from the regulatory framework, that yes, it could be, it could come into the grid, it could be regularized. There are certain benefits which has to be, it will not work. And we cannot ignore the fact that if you look at the energy sector, especially if you are talking about India, it's very price sensitive and the tariff is very strongly regulated. It's also having a very strong political dimensions. Maybe it has to be very practically seen that how it can translate into a real implementable project which is sustainable. I think that point is important.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually many things has already been told. Just to reiterate 1 or 2 points, as Dr. Gandotra actually told, the website was probably already made in the first mission innovation, where the showcasing was already going on, and I also reiterate that it should be more strengthened, and each used case and the advantage, disadvantage should be put in a better way in the platform with a specific maybe URL or something which can be actually assessed by the public, so that public can give their own comment as well. Earlier it was only one way, it was only visible to the people, but there was no acceptance from this comment thing. It is what I have experienced. Second is, lot of things has already been told, but the hydrogen economy is also coming, and that has to be integrated somehow in the smart grid era, because all the countries are looking into that aspect. And the last point I want to just reiterate, it should be country specific. The sustainability definition is again varies from country to country. Therefore, a used case with best case from different countries can be making a union who is actually at the initial stage to develop with. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. I am Abhijit Abhyankar. I am the Professor of Electrical Engineering Department at IIT Delhi. Just wanted to give one thought on a possible avenue of collaboration, and that is distribution system operator model, DSO model. So in the wake of large scale DRs being integrated, rooftop solars, you have EVs coming up, you have demand response coming up in big way. To make use of this in an optimal fashion, you have to have appropriate DSO model in place. Now, if you look at the global scenario, every country, every power system has its own way of looking at it at the DSO. So different models are being evolved for institutional framework, from the regulatory point of view, from the policy point of view, the business models and the technological aspects of it. So this is an excellent opportunity for the members involved to collaborate. There's a good amount of learning that can be done within the participating entities, that is DSOs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anybody else who'd like to come in on this point? If not, I am going to take this opportunity to pick on one of my colleagues a little bit. I know Sky has some thoughts on collaboration on the casebooks that ISGAN works on with Green Power Future, and so I want to give him a chance to talk about that.
Yes, I just suggest one thing, because we are just working with the working communication of the group. So many times we just talk about our work, why we have to work by ourselves, because we do casebook and smartly driven technologies, but also the MI have a roadmap, very tangible roadmap with the 3 pillars. So when we do that survey, I think we have to start from the first collaboration. So we just see the pillar in detail, then we can survey in that way. So I think we can monitoring each country's good case and example. Then if you just make a good case book, then we will contribute to the CEM and MI too. So I think this is very tangible collaboration starting point. Yeah, that's my point.
Thank you very much for that. It looks like we are coming close to time, so unless we have any final comments, I'm going to turn it back to Arun for some, it looks like actually Russ Conklin from the US would like to come in and say something, so I'll give him the floor. We're having some trouble hearing you, Russ. Sorry, still nothing. Sorry, Russ. All right. Well, I'm sure it was inspiring words of wisdom. All right. Well, then with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Arun for some closing comments.
Thank you. I think this event is well participated here, and thanks for all of you for sharing your thoughts in terms of how mission innovation, future green power mission as well as ISGAN can collaborate. And there have been some solid idea right from case study to discovering that some pillars for mission innovation, future power mission, as well as the ISGAN priorities are similar the way they are grouped, and we hope to come up with this dedicated as collaborative idea in those lines of be it flexibility or digitalization, or for that matter 100% renewable. But the event here also gives a feedback for the reality check in terms of the industry from India, that yes, while the big target remains for 100% renewable for grid as far as mission innovation is concerned, there will be gradual and nuanced target which may be dictated by national specific condition, priorities, availability of resource, and some of these goals will be, whilst overall worldwide sustainability development goal says that 100% renewable, the reliability and resilience of energy independence, that will also try that goal. So that's also one of the learning from today's interaction, and I thank you all. But please, we look forward to continue collaboration, and I look for input from my MI colleagues as well.
So very well concluded, but I just like to add one point here. Let us take one commitment. As I could see, there was a question: is there any potential to collaborate on a concrete deliverable of CEM and Mission Innovation 2.0 during the month of September? So the question is like, let us not target 100% renewable. Let it be 50%, 60%. Let us put the word maximum percentage of renewable integration. And we need to target a megawatt level system which can survive at least for a week time. Okay, then only we can say this percentage is successful. So for half an hour, for one day, or for maybe 6 hours through a storage technology, we can perhaps manage to achieve. But can we run a megawatt level system at least for 7 days with maximum renewable penetration? So that should be the mandate of this group to achieve at least before September. So probably we can communicate through email and let us see to that at least before September and end of this year we are able to demonstrate somewhere across the world, so that everyone can take that as an example and then increase from 50 to 55, 60, 65 slowly. So that would be the initial start from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you both, and I
read the comments from Russ.
Yes, it looks like Russ was pointing out that there were several ideas that came up here for collaboration for deliverables for the ministerial. I think those are things we should definitely explore and things that we should continue talking about going forward. And with that, I think we're at time. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. I think we've had a very productive conversation, and I look forward to seeing more of it in the future. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and bye.